I want to really thank all of you for coming and say what a pleasure it is for me to be sharing the honors of running tonight's program with Tamara Drought, someone who has been a stalwart in Demos's development, in developing our economic opportunity program, and is one of those young people who you spot and you say, this woman is a leader for the future of our country. She's an author, she's an intellectual, she's a Stephen Colbert invitee, and she is an organization builder, which I really appreciate. Stephen Heinz and I have been friends and colleagues for over 25 years. We first met when we were both in Connecticut politics. Stephen as the Income Maintenance Commissioner and then the Economic Development Commissioner, myself as the legislator and then Secretary of the State. When he started Demos, I was immediately attracted to the idea of the organization, and when he asked me to come and work with him on it, I was only too delighted to do it. And he has been he's one of these he's a real Renaissance person. If you follow his schedule, he's an advocate, an activist, he's a philanthropic leader in the philanthropic community, and he is someone who has done incredibly important government service. And so, no matter where you are, Stephen, we're delighted to have you as our leader. Demos is actually Greek for people. For any of you who are saying, I wonder what it's an acronym for, don't ask anybody. It's Greek for people, and the root word of democracy. A vibrant and inclusive democracy, one of Demos' fundamental principles, includes the widest participation of citizens in our voting process. We have believed that it is a fundamental premise that the economic injustices that are extant in our society and the democracy's deficit, the inability of democracy to fundamentally and fairly reflect the decision-making of people, are intertwined. And so it has always been the fundamental premise of Demos that we want to work on enhancing our democracy and making it work as fully, as inclusively as it can, and also, in tandem to that, make our economic system really work for everybody. So, with the kind of thinking about what our democracy is, in addition to the work that we have done on election reform, Tammy mentioned that we worked to implement the National Voter Registration Act to really get people into the process. We're the lead sponsor all around the country for election day voter registration, which really makes it much more accessible for people to enter the process. We're working to change the campaign finance system to minimize the influence, the excessive influence of money in politics. And we're working in a variety of ways to enhance our country's voting processes and ensure the right of everyone to participate. But democracy is not just about voting. It also depends upon the protection of the basic rights of citizens to hold their own views and to speak out and participate. And not only for citizens of the United States. Demos believes that America's role abroad needs to change fundamentally to a more collaborative, respectful, and international law-abiding approach in an increasingly interdependent world. Our new international program, which is aligned with CivWorld, U.S. in the World, and the World Policy Institute, is working to ensure that American foreign policy and our participation in international institutions and our international relationships generally are collaborative, respectful, and effective in pursuing not only our national interests, but our basic fundamental values. Our future is only as bright as the values we live by. And I want to say that Anthony Romero is one of our honorees tonight because he has helped America to live by its best values through his whole career, and from the minute he got into the position of the American Civil Liberties Union, I think, Anthony, about a week or 10 days before September 11th, 2001, he has been at the epicenter of these battles and taking the heat and holding the fort, as far as I'm concerned, in a time of crisis. While Anthony has been at the helm, the ACLU has won court victories on the Patriot Act, filed landmark legislation on the torture and abuse of detainees in U.S. custody, and has faithfully and forcefully played its role as a bulwark in defense of the rights of all. Anthony has a proud history as a public activist attorney, also as a leading philanthropist, and a groundbreaking leader. He supported civil rights and social justice work as a key program director at the Ford Foundation, and now is the first openly gay and Latino man to serve as executive director of the ACLU. Personally, as well as in his work, he is blazing trails for others to follow. Our democracy is far stronger today because of Anthony's work. Our nation's image in the world has been protected by the work that he has done, and he will be a key leader in the fight for justice for a long time in the future. We honor him tonight for his dedication and for his accomplishment.